Hey, what's going on, guys? ZK here, and today, welcome to episode number 8, I believe, of the Up to Speed podcast. And we are joined by BlackPanthaa and Mr. Magnificent Media as normal, or Theo and Martin, as you guys know them. So, anyway, today we're going to be talking about these subjects. It's going to be our favourite elements of all the racing games this year, whether it's Forza Horizon 2, Driveclub, etc. The new Driveclub weather update, and Theo, I believe, has a certain hint about Gran Turismo 7. We don't know what it is yet, but hopefully he reveals it later on. And the big one for all of us, I think, what we want for Forza Motorsport 6. So yeah, let's get just kicked right into it then. Yeah. So I don't know who wants to start off with this one, but the favourite elements of all the racing games this year. So Theo, do you want to kick this one off?
Okay. Grid Autosport, that's probably the most difficult one. So, I don't know, there was a lot wrong with it. It lasted about a week, for a start. But something I think it did well is the structure of its multiplayer. Not everything was great about it, but it was in the way that the single player was a racer story progression system where you unlock cars. It wasn't you buy them. But the multiplayer had the element of buying cars, and it wasn't like GTA where it's impossible to get cars, but it was like the older games in where you actually had to earn it, but it wasn't easy, if that makes sense. Like it was some. So that's probably one thing, and probably the only thing I can say nice about Grid Autosport, because other than that, the game was just a cash grab because they need money for probably a new dirt game or something. Yeah. Which hopefully will be good. Then we've got Forza Horizon 2. I guess I like the idea that this game is... the first time I played properly into Forza was Forza 5. So it's basically like taking Forza 5 to open world and being able to, customize my cars in a realistic way. Whereas in other games, it's not so realistic. It's like, upgrade your engine. What am I doing to my engine? I don't know. Whereas, Forza's like you change individual parts of your engine, etc.
Yeah.
Driveclub, that game's intense. Like, when you're going high speed in a Hennessy Venom, it's... you can't explain it. It's really just...
I think it's just suicidal. That's the word for it. Yeah, it's
suicidal. You feel like you're actually... If you crash, you are going to be harmed or something. Like, it did that well. And obviously... We've got the crew, which to me, I can't. This probably take me a while to explain, but everything.
Yeah, let's just save half an hour for this one.
It's kind of like it does everything like the old games do, but in a new way, and adds multiplayer and a massive map and massive amounts of customization that probably wouldn't have been possible before, and everything. But those are mine. I'm guessing some of yours will probably be similar.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I'm wondering if anyone's actually got anything different about what they prefer.
Well, I've got something different. Grid Autosport, I've got not really a lot to talk about because I only literally made 2 videos on it.
Yeah, we were saying before, we made about 2 videos and stops. Like I think I made about 3 actually. Right, there was nothing to the game. Seriously. But it wasn't terrible. It was just, it didn't have enough to make you go, I'm going to play this game over Forza 5 or Gran Turismo or anything.
Yeah. And then the other thing about Forza Horizon 2, the music list, that was really good. But still, I don't think it was as good as the first game in terms of variety and iconic tracks. If you know what I mean? When Forza Horizon 1 first came out, I'm like, that's a good song, that's a great song like that, so I'll download it to my iPod. But with this one, with Forza Horizon 2 soundtrack, not really had that sort of vibe, if you know what I mean. So there's a few songs that are quite good, but meh, I don't know. But with Driveclub, I don't know. I love the weather. I love the weather update. We'll come to that in a minute, guys. So apart from that, you need to be on the ball with Driveclub. That's the great thing. It's probably the best thing about it. You need to concentrate with that game, whereas with all the other ones, you don't really, because it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously the big one, the crew. There's just everything. Every single feature about that is just friggin' dynamite. That's it. So, Martin, what's yours? I don't know if you have any.
First of all, Grid Autosport, I believe it had a demo where you are driving a Mustang in the cliffs or something like that.
Think so,
Was that?
yeah.
Yeah, okay, I played that game. Didn't buy it, but sorry, the demo, but I enjoyed that. Can't say much else about it. On to Forza Horizon, that's a game I haven't played, but what I do see is that it's got, for what it is, it's got tons of customization, and I really appreciate that. Drive Club, I think this is the one I can talk most about. Drive Club, as people know, this is a game that's disappointed me, but I will say its sense of speed is absolutely amazing. Also, it's got tons of camera options, and I really think more games need to follow this suit.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Oh, about the crew? No, actually, the crew, how could I forget? The crew, Ivory Towers, honestly, I have to applaud them big time. The
Yeah, I
only
think.
thing I do not like about the crew is the kind of always online structure, and I still haven't played the crew, but the handling still looks a bit iffy to me. But tons of customization, the most we've seen, tons of cars, and they put all this effort into each and every car. Massive round of applause.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing you were talking about, the customization there, Martin, I don't know if you guys have seen a video that I made a couple of days ago when I was talking about this subject, but
You're talking
there
about that blue Mustang, then yeah, I saw it.
no, but there was the thing I was kind of pissed off is that when we watched the first trailer for the first time at E3, and that we expected all cars to have like all specs and all customization things,
Yeah.
but as you know, they kind of took some of them out, which was quite annoying. So they might be coming back up in updates, but here's the thing. Do you think they're going to be like making us pay for the updates, or do you think they're going to be free?
Now, that the season pass picture they released.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was like Driveclub's one where it has like a wheel and it shows you. They had 3 sections. One was the season pass, which gives you the cars and the specs for those cars, and then the second was tuning access. Now I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's just some other term for free, hopefully. But they have 24 specs, I think it was, to add to the game. So my guess was that they maybe haven't mapped all the vinyls to those specs of those cars, or they haven't made all the parts for those specs of those cars, something like that. Because it would be a bit weird to not give them if they were going to be free anyway, like day one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I think in the future they probably will charge for some specs, to be honest. Like, I see that. But I don't know at the same time, because they might just release the whole car and you get all the specs for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, here's hoping. That's the best plan I think they should do. That's
Yeah.
the best way to go.
Yeah. And I was thinking as well, like, if they wanted to, I don't know, maybe in a couple of months' time, they should have a pack where it's just parts for one car and it's like £1 or something.
Yeah.
You can just buy that pack for that. That would be pretty cool.
Mm.
There's a lot of
You
ways
should do
you
that
can
for
go
all
about that.
cars.
Yeah, for like every car, like every couple of months or something, they could release a few parts for the car because people will buy it.
Yeah.
I definitely would for most of them, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah. So hopefully it's the specs of free updates, all of them.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
About the tuning access, I honestly literally think that means access to tuning. So controlling the velocity of your nitrous, gear ratio, stuff like that. Can you already do that in the game?
Oh no. It's more like part based. This game, like, it's kind of like the old games in the sense that you would just upgrade your engine, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it changes it. But this game, you actually feel it. Because the other day I was driving my SLS, which I just got, and that thing's heavy. So I was driving around with my friend doing one of these challenges, and the car was planted. I could not spin it out if I tried, which is weird for an SLS, but everything was upgraded but the weight reduction. I put the weight reduction on, and that thing feels like... you know the Ferrari?
Like a fly on drugs.
Yeah, like you know the Ferrari. It feels like as soon as you put your foot down all the way, it wants to turn to the side. That's what the SLS started doing. So, like, the parts actually make a difference, which I didn't realize at first. I thought it was just like, oh yeah, of course they do. Then I actually tried it, and yeah, they do. So I want to try to experiment that in the future, like get a Koenigsegg and put terrible tires on it, terrible suspension, And
That's
maybe
a bad
like,
plan.
yeah, I
That's
know
a very
exactly.
bad plan.
Exactly. It would be cool to try it out, I guess.
It'd be cool, but you'd be death within an instant.
The Driveclub experience.
Oh god.
But yeah, one thing I think we could say then is all of the games except Gran Turismo had had their unique areas in where it's worth picking up the game just to experience all of that. But if you had to choose one game this year, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this to you.
No.
If you had to choose one game this year, which would you go with?
Real no. Why? Sick.
Why would you throw that question at us, man?
Why not?
Especially to me, who hasn't played the majority of them.
This is probably the hardest question ever. Because they're all different in their own way. That's the thing.
Okay. I'll be easy on you. Choose two.
A
bit easier.
Forza Horizon 2 and The Crew. There we go.
Yeah, that's probably the same for me. Yeah.
Oh god. We'll make it tough, right? If we had to pick one, the one that we would play and enjoy the most, I don't know.
I didn't even need to say my answer.
Yeah, obviously,
I
because you've been
think-
covering
I
The
think
Crew
it
like a
would be
freaking
The Crew.
madman.
The Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still
that
undecided
massive open
here.
world.
I'm still 50-50 between Horizon 2 and... Well, for now, it's The Crew, but when it first came out, it was Horizon 2, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing. It's like, at the same time, as you're saying, they are different games. Horizon 2, it's not simulation, but it is more simulation, like more realistic in a way.
yeah,
than
'cause
The Crew.
that's the thing. I only really go into Horizon 2 now, as Cam said in the last episode, just to customize and drift around. But apart from that, it's The Crew for just like going on road trips and stuff. So
Yeah.
and doing the actual missions. But yeah, still 50-50 at the moment for that one.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So should we move on to the weather update? Actually.
Oh yes, we
That's a
shall.
good thing. Okay. So the weather update came out Monday, I think it was. And I didn't expect that. Like, the update's usually Tuesday, but that was a bit weird. Anyway, I have been waiting for the weather update for a while because I thought it was going to be at launch. They had a year delay to sort the game out, sort the menu out or something, but it didn't have the weather update. And they said, "Oh, we're still developing it." It's like, what?
Yeah. Just
yeah,
in case you're
anyway.
wondering what game this is, guys, because Theo didn't say it there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Driveclub.
Driveclub, yeah. The cruise weather update. So, no, but yeah, I think it should have launched with it. Basically, to start with, it would have. It kind of makes it would make the races more varied because I know they're already varied locations. I mean, you can go to Norway. And then you can go to Chile, or Chile, as people keep wanting to pronounce it. But I mean, adding the weather on there as well would have, made it a lot more varied and fun, I guess. Because
Yeah.
driving with this AI that's always shunting you, and I don't know. I think the rain would have added to it. It does, obviously, because it's been released now. The weather does add to it because it blocks your vision. You can't see as far because of obviously the rain. And if it's snow, it's the same. And you've got it all over your window of your car, so you can't see at all. And everybody's smashing you to the side, and you've lost. You haven't got as much traction. I'm terrified to try this
So
online.
basically, you become the AI.
Yeah, you basically
Essentially,
become the AI. Yeah,
That's the one thing. I've only driven it in like a time trial mode, and like I've driven it in several cars like the M4, the Aerial Atom, which is possibly the scariest thing I've ever done in my lifetime. Because as you'll know, that thing is lightweight as hell, 500 brake horsepower, and the guy obviously he wears a helmet when he gets into that, and it's the rain just sprays up and everything. The faster you go, it stretches along your bonnet. It is really really cool. But at the same time, you need to be awake.
yeah. That car is a handful even when it's dry. So
Yeah.
I want to try that with a wheel. That would be the most terrifying thing ever.
God, your arms will be ripped off.
Yeah. So I think, it definitely should have been there from the start because it does add, it adds more intensity to an already massively intense game. But as I said, I'm terrified to try that online. Have you tried the multiplayer? Because
Not yet. I've not tried it yet.
I'm afraid I haven't, no.
It has its bad times a lot of the time, and its good times sometimes. People do ram you a lot. They spin you out a lot, more so than the AI. So
Well, it's a racing game, so
yeah, it's
what
a
do you
race.
expect?
That's
Everyone
like
does that.
a racing game. As soon as you go into a multiplayer of a racing game, they try and like spin you out from the back as soon as you get past them, and it's so annoying. I imagine it's going to be more annoying in the rain.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And they haven't got a no contact option in the game, so it's like.
Yeah, they should add that, considering the fact
really
of
should,
how like the width of the tracks, they're really, really narrow sometimes. So
They really consider about things like when someone starts to lag, they will make them invisible, so you can't they can't just glitch all over and hit you. But in the crew, you can that happens and you get spun out. I've had it happen loads of times. But they really consider about these things. But then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, we're going to let everybody smash into each other still. We're not going to be considerate of the fact that there's some assholes playing on the game. Like,
Yeah.
they consider they look at the things that are less important. But yeah, so I haven't played around with the weather update a lot, but it does definitely make it much more terrifying.
yeah, a lot more dramatic and eventful.
Yeah, but it's kind of annoying that it's taken this long to come out, and we've still not got a replay mode.
Was just
Which
about
is-
to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, still not got a replay mode, which is a bit weird. Like, I thought it was going to come out with the photo mode update, because
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're driving, you pause the game to then take a picture, and it's like, it says take a picture of your most epic moments. It's like, well, it's just happened. I can't go back and take a picture of it because you haven't got a replay mode.
Well, see, speaking of the photo mode, right? Getting back onto the crew. Now, I've mentioned this several times.
Yeah.
Over the stuff. That needs to have a photo mode update, because every time, especially for YouTubers, when you're trying to make a thumbnail
Yeah.
out of that, it is hell, because you've got the whole little, what do you call them? The little location finders and stuff for like the people that are playing and stuff. The little icons for them dotted about the screen. So when you try to position the car on the screen to get rid of them, it just doesn't work. It needs a proper photo mode, because the locations in the game are absolutely stunning. They really, really are. Like, Yosemite, or whatever the hell it's pronounced as. You get the Bonneville salt flats and stuff, because that was the one thing I was hyped most about it. Well, one of the things I was hyped most about it. It's like take photos and stuff, because Test Drive Unlimited had that, Test Drive 2 had it. So I know the crew's an online game, but GTA Online, that allows you to take photos and stuff. So why can't the crew? That's it.
It is confusing. I think they said that they will add a photo mode.
Oh, thank God.
But I hope they do it very soon, because I don't want it to be too late, or it's like, oh, I've already explored a million locations, and there's certain moments when you're driving down the road, you're like, that is amazing, and I just want to take a picture of it, and I might not play as much in the future. I don't know. So
yeah, because here's hoping people from Ivory are watching this and they actually listen, because that would be a gem. It really, really would be. So,
I mean, Driveclub's got one. Forza Horizon 2's got one. I think Grid Autosport had a replay mode and photo mode.
yeah,
So
that just shows you.
yeah, Grid Autosport. I was actually hyped for that game for about a week.
Basically what it was just Grid 2, but on actual proper tracks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it didn't have much to it. But anyway,
Oh,
are you ready for my Gran Turismo hint?
oh here we go, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so my Gran Turismo hint, it's not as exciting as you think.
Okay, then.
Actually, no, I'm lying. It's the best thing ever. Are you ready? So, during the PlayStation experience, the Polyphony Digital guys, the community manager, they actually have a community. I didn't know they had a community manager.
Did they
They
actually?
actually have a. He's not doing a very good job, is he? Eric Fishback. I've never heard of him before.
What
in
a
my life.
name.
Never.
Anyway, somebody said, "What can we expect from the next Gran Turismo on PS4?" And this was his response: "What you can expect from Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 4, which is the strongest console ever, is the best Gran Turismo you can imagine." What kind of answer is that?
Is that seriously the answer?
That is the answer.
Oh my god.
What kind of...
Wait. So,
Oh my, what? But do you not even go into
So-
detail like this is going to be the
No.
best graphics ever? It's going to be there's going to be more cars. There's going to be updated stuff like that.
Nothing.
I didn't get to watch the event. So when he got the chance to say this, did he have his whole stage or was he rushing something?
This was at a panel,
Oh my!
and media were asking questions, and that was the response. The PlayStation 4 is our most powerful console ever. I should hope so.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you? There's so many things wrong with this. Like, it's going to be the best one yet. I should hope so.
Yeah,
You're not going to go backwards.
It's the most powerful console ever. Yet they've got standard cars in it. Explain me
God.
to that one. Explain me that one.
That actually agitates me.
That answer is honestly horrid. Why would they even answer the question? It's like, I'd rather not answer the question than reply with that. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
that
Well,
is
just
just...
hoping they do pull something out of the bag and generally surprises, but
Seriously,
I highly
I
doubt
hope
it.
they do. And I just know. Why would you? It's gonna be the most. We're on the most powerful console yet, so it's gonna be the best one yet.
That is quite a barbaric answer in it, so
It's just. It's straight to the point, I guess.
yeah.
But that's not what
I don't
people
think he was
want.
having a good day.
No, I don't think he was either. But yeah, that's.
That was a
Wow.
great hint, Theo.
I know, right? We've learned so much about Gran Turismo 7 today.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
Anyway, moving on to another sim-style racer. Before I
I think
die
we'll come
on
back
this
to
subject.
7 though.
Yeah, we definitely will, because
Yeah.
this is going to be an interesting one, like these two. Because we're thinking they're going to come out about the same time, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be about Forza 6. And basically what we think it should do, what we want from the next installment of the game. So I think EK should start with this one, because he's the Forza guy here.
Okay then, right. Just to explain my brief Forza history, I've been on the game since the first one now. Granted, I didn't play it as much as I do now when I first got it, but personally, my favourite motorsport game was 4, and I think it is still everyone's. Now, as you all know, Forza Motorsport 5 greatly improved the graphics. Don't get me wrong, Forza Motorsport 4 wasn't a bad looking game, right, but Forza 5 just took it to top-notch levels. But this is the thing here, right? When it comes to graphics and it comes to actual in-game content, I would take in-game content because literally there was less than half the tracks, I believe, than Forza Motorsport 4 and Forza 5. And there was less than half the cars. Now, what are car games all about? They're cars, aren't they? So if you're taking back the thing that you need to drive in order to take place in races and stuff, what is the point? So, oh man, I mean, it made me rage so much in Forza Horizon 1 when they were just adding cars from Forza 4, but that's a whole different story about DLC. But actually on the motorsport front, what I really hope they do for Forza Motorsport 6 is take all the cars from Forza 5, because they're already rebuilt, you can just make them glimmer a tiny bit more, just a teeny bit more, but please focus, if you're watching Turn 10 Studios Microsoft, please focus on the in-game content, like races, the actual circuits and stuff. So, yeah, I really want to Scuba to come back, because that was like the perfect drifting track ever. So, if all them tracks from Forza Motorsport 4 and 5 come back in, that would be absolutely dynamite. And one other thing for all the Forza YouTubers out there, Fujimi Kaido. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. So, yeah, apart from that, customization, more bumpers, etc, etc, etc. That is my rant over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I'm kind of new to the Forza series. I've played here and there at my friend's house because he had a 360 as well as a PS3, but I've always been PlayStation guy. So I was on Gran Turismo 5 and 6, and then I got Forza. So to me, it was like, wow, this looks a million times better visually. This has actually detailed interiors. I can customize these cars with like whatever I want. Like, there's a crazy vinyl editor that Forza has that no other series really has, except Shift, which is old, so doesn't really count. And that's arcade. But yeah, so I think the one thing that kind of stopped me playing Forza 5 very quickly is, as EK said, there weren't enough cars, there weren't enough tracks. Like,
Goddamn right.
I mean, going from Gran Turismo, I know Gran Turismo's got a whole different mindset. They're like, oh, we're trying to balance quality and quantity. Bullcrap. You're just throwing as much in there as you possibly can from older games. But I mean, going from that and then going to less, it's like, okay, there's less content here. It's more, it's up to date. It's all new. They've actually made it for this game, which I appreciate. But at the same time, it makes sense to have more of it. Like, you have less than half of what you had in your last games, and because it's a game that so many people love and go on to make their favorite car in the game, and you can actually tune it, and it's actually fun. Whereas in Gran Turismo, if I made like my favorite car, I'd kind of get bored of it very quickly because I can't personalize it as much and that sort of stuff. So Forza's very focused on car culture, but it doesn't have a lot of cars.
That's
So
the thing.
Alright.
That's the thing I was going to say there, just in case we don't get let me speak. Just in case we get like haters or something trolling us right now. I'm just saying we would like more cars than that to come into Forza, and we are aware that it takes a shit ton amount of time to actually replicate them in the game. Same with the tracks and everything like that. So I do take my hat off to Turn 10 and any other game out there that is generally taking their time to improve their own games for the fans. That is it. So
yeah, that's one thing I've got to say from Forza, that they did take their time to make it for that game and not just go, we've got an old game, let's just port it to a brand new console and have no interiors and all this stuff like Forza, Gran Turismo does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, still want more.
yeah.
I can't really like. There was a few cars in there that I liked, but at the same time, there's not enough for me to go on. I don't know. Every day on Gran Turismo, I'd go on it. I'd be like, I didn't know this car was on it. I'll try this today. And after maybe a week on Forza, it was like, I've driven pretty much everything here. And all the events on Forza were the same, but limited you to different car types. So you're doing the same track over and over, and there's no weather or time changes in the game either. So they are literally the same track.
That's another thing. Weather for Forza 6.
Weather needs to be added in. Like, they probably won't do it. I don't know if they will.
I have a funny feeling they will. Because Horizon 2 has the weather now, so they can easily just pour it over from that.
I was thinking, but at the same time, I was saying it, I think in one of the early podcasts, Cam has been on Forza for a while, and you remember what's it called? Horizon. Horizon had a day and night cycle.
Yeah.
And the next Forza after that didn't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they need to bring that in as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they do it, because that would once again add a new variation to it, because then you could actually use the same track in a different time, a different weather, and it would be a completely different experience, rather than just making me drive 12 o'clock on the same track every single race in the same car. Like,
so that's the thing. If Gran Turismo can do it, then Forza can definitely do it in terms of like graphics wise and stuff. So
I just hope that they add elements they've learnt from Horizon 2. The online needs a bit of work. I think that's what they can take from Gran Turismo as well. Like, how it just lists and you can name your own lobbies, and it's like, we're just driving around. We're not exactly racing. We don't have to set a timer and...
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. You just reminded me there, Theo. A lot of people were complaining, especially people like Slaptrain, and including me as well, that you couldn't really do custom lobbies in Forza Motorsport 5, so we would like to have it like set up for drifting, set up for circuit racing, tag, etc, etc, etc. So if they bring that back, and also the big thing that people have been complaining about, the storefront, and where you can buy stuff and like buy cars, buy designs, etc, like that. We need to bring that back. That is it.
I never experienced that. Because obviously I came from Forza 5, so the marketplace, was it like the storefront? Sorry, did you just go there and buy other people's cars and they get like a cut, or?
Well, basically what it was is that if people just want to sell their cars and that, they could put it on to an auction. It's a bit like eBay. People bid
Okay,
and bid and bid.
that sounds cool.
And then when the timer runs out, whoever has the highest amount wins the car. So
Why would they remove that?
yeah, I know. It was so addictive though. It was
Yeah,
really
that sounds
good.
really cool. And I mean,
It's really, really good.
picturing that in like even the Crew, which is something completely different, that would be brilliant.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's weird that they removed that because it sounds like a cool feature. Well, yeah, Martin. Anyway, you haven't said anything yet. So
Yeah,
go.
I mean, like Theo said, I'm a Gran Turismo guy. I haven't really played much of Forza, but you mentioned there was a reduction in cars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, so what they've done is up the quality of the cars. That means much more polygons in the interior and exterior,
Yeah.
and that takes up much more data on the discs. So because of that, there's a reduction in cars. So I'm wondering, do you mind like a reduction in graphics instead?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I know there's tons of people out there that
Not Gran
vary on
Turismo
this
style.
subject.
Not
But,
Gran Turismo.
no. Not that still, but if it was even the same as Forza 5 in terms of graphics, I wouldn't even mind that as long as if it's got like more content on disc. If you know what I mean,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just on disc DLC.
Yeah.
So
The thing is, now they've got Forza 5 and they built Horizon 2 off of it. During that time, they've got 2 years to develop the next proper Forza game.
Yeah.
So they hopefully during that time they basically stuck with that game and that engine and everything and just kind of added to it, added more cars, added more tracks, because that's all they basically need to do to sell it.
yeah, exactly.
They don't need to make a whole new engine or anything if they're planning to do that, because that's just a long time wasted when they've
Yeah.
already got something that's already working fine. But yeah, so
Yeah, because I could go on about a subject for quite a while, but the main things that the whole Forza community and that, because I know you two don't play Forza a lot, but for people that have been actually at it since the start, I know Tomcat was very freaking angry when they took out Fujimi Kaido because he spent like freaking, God knows, about 75% of his time on Forza Motorsport 4 just drifting around the mountains on that. I was kind of the same, but tracks that I would love to see come back, like Infineon, to Scuba, Suzuka as well. I don't think that was in Forza Motorsport 5. But all these legendary tracks from previous games that weren't in Forza 5 to come back. That is it.
yeah.
That is it. So,
One
On the flip side, I'm thinking Gran Turismo really needs to step their flipping game.
that's what I was about to say. Like Gran Turismo needs to, because we're saying all this about Forza, but
Yeah.
Gran Turismo doesn't
Doesn't
come
have half
close
of it.
to it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's very. They go for like they both go. I've realized for this very simplistic feel. One of them, Forza, does it well because it's very beautiful. Everything's up to date, and then you've got Gran Turismo that's like simplistic, and then you get thrown into this main menu that's all over the place, and you get some PS2 ported track that you play on, and it's like, my car looks like it was made on the PS3. My track does not. Like, what is this track? There was some tracks that were absolutely terrible. Honestly, looked like PS1 textures. But I mean, with GT7, we know exactly what they're going to do. They're just going to take GT6 and, put a they'll say, oh, we've got a few more cars in it. We've got 2,000 now. Yeah, they've added about 100 different more,
Mazda
GTRs,
MX-5s?
yeah, MX-5s and GTRs and stuff. And there's your game. Like, we've tidied up the menu a bit, but I don't know. They can do it so simply as to just wipe out all the cars that people don't use, make a couple of new ones in there from like recent. So like Driveclub's recently got quite a few new cars, and
Yeah.
not use PS2 tracks. like Forza actually takes the time to go to the location again and laser scan them. With Gran Turismo, they walk around with a stick, clicking how long this is to then draw it on Microsoft Paint. It would look like that's exactly what they're doing.
you should have like a tutorial from Polyphony. This is how you draw Suzuka.
Just doing it top down on Paint.
So it's going to be Forza 6 versus GT7.
Yeah, I think they will actually release at the same time. I'm
I'm just looking at how Forza has catched up to GT7
Yeah, it
in
is
such little time.
insane. It is insane because Gran Turismo is like the big, racing franchise, the thing that started
Yeah.
Sony and racing, and
Yeah.
and it's like Forza's just like, oh hey, I'm right here now, right behind you.
Well, it'd be quite good to do like a comparison video of like the two games when they both come out next year. So
Definitely.
I think we're all going to do that. So,
But at the same time, will Gran Turismo come out next year? Or will we get a prologue?
Oh God, no!
Forgot about those.
We'll get a prologue, and then next year, sorry, it's delayed. And then by the end of the PlayStation 4's life cycle, we may have the next Gran Turismo.
I have a funny feeling that it will come out next year because people have been dying for it. Because the only racing game right now that we have for the PS4 is Driveclub. So
Yeah,
I think they might rush it to a certain degree just to get it out.
there
I'm not
isn't
too
a
sure,
lot they
but-
really need to upgrade, to be honest. Like,
Graphics.
yeah, other than the graphics.
Audio.
Oh yeah,
oh
okay.
God, yeah.
The audio. Don't even get me started on the audio. They released an update for the audio for GT6 the other day, which updated about 2 cars, right? And the sound change, they've changed the vacuum cleaner. They haven't added engine noise. They've changed which brand of vacuum cleaner they're using on the car. Like, I swear they must literally just, we'll get a Dyson today. That's the Ferrari engine. Like, who designs the sound? Do they not have a sound department? They just go, oh crap, sounds. We forgot the sounds. Let's go to Argos and buy some vacuum cleaners.
That's the great thing about Forza, because when I
Forza
was
has
at
the
Playground
sound,
Games, when I was at Playground Games and that, actually testing out Horizon 2 a couple of weeks before it was launched, Ralph Fulton, the creative director, he took us into this like sound room and stuff, like proper silent sound room. The guy let us hear like the Huracan V10, and my God, I mean, like everyone's ears nearly bled to death because it was that good. So, I mean, Forza know what they're doing. They are probably one of the most leading in terms of sounds in the game. Because, for example, the F-Type V8.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lexus LFA now. I don't know if it was you that was talking about this, Theo, but the Lexus LFA sounds quite good in Gran Turismo.
It does, because it sounds like a vacuum anyway.
What? Did you say the LFA sounds like a vacuum?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God!
It
Jesus.
closely resembles a
It
vacuum.
sounds like a fucking Formula One car.
It's a V10, so it's quite pitched, but I'd agree with EK. It's quite Formula One-ish.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
Do you know what it sounds like to me? Like a next-gen Carrera GT.
Okay,
like
yeah,
that high-pitched howl.
Yeah.
That's it. So
One thing I don't get, Need for Speed does a brilliant job with sound, right? I know they go over the top, like they make it sound much more ridiculous than it actually is, but they still get very good sound.
yeah.
How can Gran Turismo not do anything? Like they make the sound for, I don't know. They must just have one car recorded, and they just change the pitch depending on what car it is. Like there's only like 2 cars that actually have their proper sound, which is the LFA and the 7. I can't remember the bloody name of it. The Mazda race car thing.
Does the GTR have a good sound in it, like the R35 or the R34?
Don't think so. That's probably another vacuum
Like one of the
cleaner.
most iconic import tuners of the
Yeah,
wall,
and they have
doesn't
like
even have a good sound.
200 of them in the game, and they all sound the same as vacuum cleaners.
That's the thing I like about Forza, right? They bring in, well, not all of the time, but they try and bring in like the top dog of the actual model, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all just waiting right now for the next DLC. Fingers crossed for the Hellcat Challenger and Charger. That'd be awesome.
Amazing.
That's the thing. Like, imagine you think of this. You go, okay, so they're gonna add a DLC pack of this car that we really like to Forza, and we're like, yes, this is awesome. Gran Turismo's like, we've added the M4. Everyone's like, right. We get to drive it around the track and hear, and the vacuum cleaners, and it's like. In Forza, we can actually customize that thing, and we can just, I don't know, it's just a different feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of
Go
this.
ahead, man. On you go, Martin. On you go.
All right, I was thinking of this crazy idea of Gran Turismo 7, and I was thinking it should have like a standard difficulty mode and then a super professional mode. So in this mode, you're paying for petrol, paying for tires,
Yes, yes.
paying for
that'd be good.
damage.
That would be very good.
There are
I would
no
love that.
restarts, etc., etc.
Well, I don't know about paying
And
for
it's a
it.
gold Okay,
I probably have to say like just pulling into like the pits and like having a proper pit stop, but
'Cause
I
I
don't really pay it for
remember,
money.
I remember in Juiced, which is completely different, but
Yep.
when you used your NOS tank and you damaged your car, you needed to pay for repairs before you could like continue,
Oh
or
yeah.
before you could like customize it or anything. So I think that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like, as long as it's not a lot, then
Yeah.
I'll be all right with that idea, because it adds another thing. Like, I need to consider that I'm going to have to pay to repair my car, so I need to make sure I don't damage it. And yeah, because I mean, you have
And
to
that's
change
going to
in Gran Turismo.
sorry.
In Gran Turismo anyway, you have to change the oil, and you can like refurbish the engine and that sort of stuff anyway. So I don't know, it would kind of work.
And I would encourage people not to actually like barge into people online.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, how to fix racing games? Penalize everybody that gets damage on their car. There's a lot of money gone. And then microtransactions.
Oh no.
Oh man.
I wonder if they're actually going to add them back into the next Forza and Gran Turismo, because Gran
They
Turismo
will.
has
They
them.
will.
And
They definitely.
Forza,
That's the way times are going these days. So because
Yeah.
the crew has them, Need for Speed has them. I think so. I think they do. GTA has them as well. So
Yeah.
every game has got it now. Nearly every single game. So because I don't know. I think honestly, in my opinion, the way the actual like gaming community has, it's became more lazy in terms of like progression.
Definitely.
That's the good thing about the
Yeah.
crew. You need to work for it, but still, the annoying part is it's the option. It's there. It's
Yeah.
there to actually like pay to win, if you know what I mean. So, because Cam was talking about this in one of his videos that the PvP things were kind of being unfair, and they were like setting them up with like level 2000 cars and even
Oh,
like
I watched
700.
I watched
you know what
that.
I mean?
That,
So-
that,
I
wasn't,
watched that.
that wasn't really pay to win, to be fair. Like, if you go onto the crew and you just started the game, you buy a Koenigsegg with real money, it's going to be like £16 or something, which is a lot of money. But if you like that, go ahead, buy yourself an in-game car. So
Yeah.
you buy that car, but you can only level it up to 200 because you can't. Well, actually, no, you can't level it up at all because you need the performance spec, which is level 30.
Yeah,
And
level
once
30.
you get to level 30, your car's only going to be now level 300, 400, because you need to get later on in the game, like complete the game to level 50 to get level 40 to 50 parts. So I don't think it's pay to win, like, because you can't as well. You know, when you go to buy parts inside a dealership or whatever, like for the actual car, performance parts, nobody ever really does that. And I went on there and I saw a bronze part, silver part. You know, you see some in there, but there's never really the one you want. You can't. The only platinum parts you can buy are like level 40, which isn't very good. So as long as they balance microtransactions, I'm fine, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Because because an Ivory Tower developer actually said, because Total Biscuit and everyone started playing the crew, because that's what they do. They just play games and then they review them or whatever. He was tweeting saying that the microtransactions in the game, and he's like, oh boy. And then an Ivory Tower developer actually tweeted him saying, would you prefer a $100 game? Just like an honest question. And I was like, thinking about that, I wouldn't prefer, you know, how much would it be? 80 quid game or something. Like, would you rather pay more for a game, or would you have microtransactions that you don't really need to get, and it doesn't upset the game that much?
Yeah, I sort of agree on that. I kind of do, but
Because at the same time, GTA, that would not get updates if it didn't have microtransactions. They
yeah,
need
because
to.
the amount
They
of
need
people
a
are
money,
actually paying for it.
yeah, they need a money stream to keep coming in for them to bother to release content. They could just have released the game and gone, there you go, Merry Christmas. Here's your game. And it could have been the base game. Because you remember the base game was kind of... It didn't have half the stuff we've got now, really.
Yeah.
And then, because people are actually willing to buy cash cards, a lot of people... I went on the PlayStation Store the other day. There's a £64.99 cash card in GTA.
What?
Right.
Is that like the 8 million one?
8 million, yeah. So
Jesus.
I looked on it, and people can vote. Once you actually buy something, you can vote on 5 stars or whatever.
That's That's like paying for like
And-
a completely different
Flip.
game.
Yeah.
Game. Yeah.
So then people, I think there was 10 people that had voted on it. So at least 10 people had bought that cash card
Oh my.
in the UK. Like, that's
Must be
crazy.
rich
You
kids,
must
man.
have a lot of money.
I
Yep.
think they've not heard of a thing called missions.
Yeah. But at the
Sick.
same time, that could be some guy that's earning a lot of money and
Yeah.
doesn't have the time to play the game as much as we do, and he wants the new cars that just came out or whatever. But at the same time, it doesn't unbalance the game in any way, because you need to be a certain level to unlock this part. Like in the racing, actually, you need to race or win a race, say 50 times in the street class car. Sports class car. I was thinking of the crew then. Sports class car, to be able to unlock the best engine, which I think is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah, I'm
balance, as
also
long as they
thinking-
balance it, it's fine.
I'm also thinking it could just be a little brat begging his mum for
Yeah.
the shark
Give
cards.
me all the money in GTA, please.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah,
But I do admit that I have bought a couple of shark cards, right? But nothing to that extent.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, I know the cars. Let's say, I'm trying to think one of recent. The Zentorno, that was like 450,000, maybe a wee bit more than that. And I got the $1
$725.
million. So how much was that? 725, aye.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I think I got the $1 million one. So I'm not spending $64.99 on a freaking shark card, man. It's crazy.
It is crazy. But
Flipping out.
those people are paying for us to get content updates.
Yeah.
So,
So thank you, I guess.
yeah, thanks for paying
Thank you, all the rich
$64.99.
toffs out there.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything.
That rounds it up, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a bit shorter this week because there weren't like major topics to discuss. But if you got any suggestions on what topics you want to hear, then be sure to let us know down in the comments. That would be great. And I'll check the comments of EK's as well, just to be sure before we start. And but other than that, anything else to say, guys?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Laters.
So yeah.